Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Melissa McCrae from Vitality Natural Wellness and Med Spa. So today I am really excited because we're going to be talking about the immune system. This is all going to be about tips to support and optimize your immune system. So why do we even talk about the immune system? Your immune system is the front line of defense. It's the front line of protection from illnesses and diseases. Not only germs, but also things like healing from an injury or recovering from a surgery, or even things like cancer. You know, your immune system, things go wrong in your body all the time. And if those processes continue to be duplicated, that's what leads to diseases like cancer. So having an immune system that works properly is key to good health and longevity. What else about the immune system? Well, this is amazing. Lifestyle behaviors boost your immune system tremendously. So lifestyle behaviors are things that we do, can have just a great impact on your immune system. You can be the biggest controller of your ability to fight off disease. That's something that not many of us maybe believe or have been told to believe, but it is so, so true. So I want to empower you in ways that you can improve your immune system. The other reason we want to talk about the immune system today is that these small, simple habits that we can incorporate into our life can significantly affect your health. So what is this immune system? I want you to think of your immune system as this really strong army inside of your body. And what is its mission? Its mission is to protect you from enemies, both foreign, we think of like viruses and bacteria. We also think of things like injuries, so maybe a splinter. So your army of the immune system is to protect you from these enemies, both foreign and domestic. Domestic ones would be like cancer, things that are growing inside of you that we don't want to be there. The problem is when you're immune compromised, your immune system's defenses are really low, and it affects your body's ability to fight off these infections and diseases. And that's, of course, the last thing we want. Your cells in your body, there's all of these trillions of cells, and they form this team to really fight off anything that shouldn't be there. This includes, again, anything like a splinter or where you've cut your toe and trying to prevent infection from setting in, to frank infections like influenza or COVID or even meningitis or the common cold. Whatever it is, your immune system is there to fight these off. So let's just say you have an invader into your system, either in your system or to you. There's two things that happen with your immune system. The first one is something called the innate immune system. These are the cells that attack immediately. So they attack the foreign body or the foreign germ, whatever it is, and it triggers your system to get it out as fast as it can. So this is typically a bigger kind of inflammatory reaction. Bring blood to the area, bring all of this fluid to the area, bring all the different cells and fight this thing immediately. The second team of your army comes in, and they do the cleanup. So they clean up whatever's left behind. They clean up the messes, because just like anytime there's a big battle, there is a mess left behind. And so we can't work healthily in that environment either. So our immune system has two phases, the innate immune system, and then we have the secondary immune system. And that's really important to keep in mind. Now that second state, that's called the adaptive immune cells. So I think of the cleanup crew, just think of it like the janitor at school, and knows the same systems every day, is cleaning up the same things, making sure everything is orderly and ready for the next day and ready for things to function properly. The adaptive immune systems, also the janitors of our body, they also are very aware. If they hear that school parties are coming, they know to step things up, bring extra trash bags, maybe bring extra mop or extra cleaners, right? So the adaptive immune cells are the same way. They actually remember infections. They remember invaders in your system. So the next time they see it, they can be much more efficient at recognizing and fighting off these invaders. So if you ever see it again, this is your army in waiting, ready to attack. These are your memory cells. So we have our initial, like really fast attackers, and then we have our army in waiting, knowing, hey, if I ever see that again, boy, am I ready to clean it up. So that's a really simplistic way to look at your immune system, but that's the importance of understanding why we need it to work properly. A lot of times people think about the immune system just to generally fight off viruses and bacteria and infections and things like that. However, in some of us, the immune system does not work like it's supposed to. For instance, if you have an autoimmune disease, it causes your own immune cells to attack your body, where it will think that a certain cell line is foreign and attack it. So this can happen anywhere in the body. Autoimmune diseases, so autoimmune is immunity against yourself, which is not good. These autoimmune diseases are more common in women. And we think that's both a combination of factors of genetics and some environmental triggers that happen. Just wanted to share a little bit about autoimmunity because it does 100% revolve around an immune system. There are more than 80 autoimmune diseases that affect over 24 million people. That's a lot of people to be affected by an immune system that is not regulated properly. So that could be like autoimmune thyroid diseases like Hashimoto's or Graves' disease. It could be inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. We have lupus, we have multiple sclerosis, we have rheumatoid arthritis, even type 1 diabetes. They're all autoimmune. The immune system is attacking itself in a dysregulated fashion. Now, the problem with this is there's a really significantly increased risk of cancer in these patients. For example, there's a 40% increased chance of lung cancer in patients who have rheumatoid arthritis. Now, we have a lot of associations like this, but just keep in mind, an immune system that's not in control is causing damage in the background or creating a weakness. So you see, your immune system must work properly to protect you and to heal you from everything from bacteria and viruses to injuries, to even attacking your own cells. So how does this show up, a weakened immune system? Well, some of the signs of a weakened immune system could be, those frequent infections. I'm always sick. I can't seem to ever shake this cough. Slow healing wounds, definitely a sign of an immune system that's just not getting what it needs to function properly. Digestive problems, bloating, gassiness, abdominal pain, rashes, and constant tiredness. You're just always tired. You can't beat the fatigue. So many times people ask me, why did I get this way? What's wrong with me? How did this happen? Well, let me tell you what your body needs to have a properly functioning immune system. So if you have a pen and paper, I'd love for you to just write a couple of these key things down. For your body to function properly, for an immune system to work the way it should, you have to have the right nutrients getting in there. So we need good gut health to absorb the food and nutrients. We need the right microbiome. You have to be eating the right foods. So nutrients, the body needs nutrients. The second thing that the body needs is sleep. We're going to get into these a little bit, but there's only certain cytokines for the immune system produced during sleep and many of our situations. So if you're not sleeping well, the only opportunity to produce some things that are crucial to the immune system never even get made. So the body needs nutrients, the body needs sleep. The body also needs fruits and vegetables. Well, why on earth does it need that? Well, one, they're an amazing source of the nutrients we need, but they also feed all the good gut bacteria inside of us that are crucial, as we'll touch on a little bit later, crucial for the immune system. So we have nutrients, sleep, we need fruits and vegetables. Next, we need to not be in a chronic state of stress. Now, we're seeing more challenges with this one on a regular basis. A chronic state of stress is known to suppress the immune system. We know that people who are chronically stressed get sicker more often. They have an increased risk of cancer, and they have disruption in so many other areas of their health that chronic stress on the body and that chronic triggering of an immune system also leads to weakness. So we know everybody should have written down nutrients, sleep, vegetables and fruits, not to be in a chronic state of stress, and exercise and moving your body. So we need exercise and movement in our body. There's some really cool things that happen when your muscles contract. You actually release cytokines that calm the immune system down in a very healthy way. So if it's overactivated, it calms them down. We're finding out there these whole new category of molecules called myokines that are produced with muscle contraction. And if you're not ever contracting a muscle, guess what? You never release those amazing myokines. So I want you to think about those key things that a body does need to help protect from all the invaders inside and out. Can you think of any big obstacles in your health journey that are stopping you or slowing down your body's immune response? Can you think of these, in a nutrient basis or in a sleep basis, the foods you put in your body and your stress state, as well as just movement? What obstacles do you find in those categories that are foundational for an immune system to work right? So I want you to put a little star check mark besides the things that might need a little attention. The other question I have for you is, are you going to be able to identify if you have a weakened immune system? what is your fatigue like? Are you getting sick a lot? Are you not able to shake the things you want? Or is that scratch you have just not healing? And then the question is also, do you have a go-to plan? What's your plan of action so that you can take care of these issues that are popping up? I just want to touch on a story that's not your typical immune system story. This is about a 16-year-old boy who had come into my practice about 5 years ago, and very quiet, shy, otherwise healthy, but he had these little bumps all over him. And he sat real quietly on the exam table. Mom did most of the talking, and she said he just has this rash that's not going away, and they would really, really like it to go away. It's starting to bother him. He doesn't like how other people look at him. And so I was, saying, all right, well, let's check it out. So pulled up his sleeves, and there were some bumps there, and lifted up his shirt, and he had some bumps on his abdomen, and then lifted up his shirt in the back, and he had these bumps on his back. And then he flipped over his hands, and they were covered in warts. Most of them were the flat warts covered in warts. So as we dug into this a little bit further, I wanted to know, what's his current situation like? He actually is having some issues at school. He doesn't feel he fits in. He's struggling academically. Socially, we find out that his best friend moved away last year. From a dietary perspective, he really only likes to eat chicken nuggets and apples, and that's pretty much all he eats. He does have cereal. So we have this really limited diet. He's got these stressors in our life that are ongoing, and certainly from a nutrient perspective, wow, we have some major issues there. So we really focused on those key areas in him. The mom was asking me, I've been giving him lysine, and I've been dabbing the topical wart medicine on his lesions, and nothing is making it better. What I want to stress to you is if you're not focusing on some of the foundational aspects of what boosts your immune system, you could take a medicine cabinet full of supplements and not have a great outcome. So we are going to talk about some supplements that are great for immune system, but I want you to truly be aware of the key foundational components of what makes your immune system work the way it was magnificently created to are things that you have control over and the things that you do with your body on a daily basis. So let's take a look at how you've been living your everyday life. I want you to list down some things you need to work on and things that you need to change based on those factors that we just talked about above, because those are crucial into making sure we have a great health outcome and we live optimally. So let's talk about some of the things that we can do for those lifestyle behaviors to boost your immune system. First of all, let's talk about environment. Environment is where you live, what's happening around you. First one, stress management. We know that people who rate themselves as being under high stress, which 54% of the population admits very high stress levels right now. We know that high levels of stress, 30% increased risk of multiple forms of cancer. That's huge. Okay, so stress management, taking a daily walk. Box breathing, if any of you know me, know that box breathing is one of my favorites. And let's just talk about box breathing for a second. So just how you do this is you find a really comfortable place to sit and just to be. You don't have to go hide in a closet or anything. You just sit comfortably and you just take a couple of nice deep breaths. The reason we call it box breathing is it's an imaginary box. So if you could imagine drawing a box with your breath. So first thing we're going to do is you're going to take a nice deep breath in for 4 seconds. You're going to hold it for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and hold that for 4 seconds. So it's an inhale, hold, exhale, hold. You can imagine that box as you're breathing. Now, 4 seconds is too long. Just do it until you're comfortable. Make sure you're doing belly breathing, so you can even rest your hands on your belly, and make sure that when you take those deep breaths, your abdomen is moving and not your chest. Chest breathing is a very tight form of breathing, and belly breathing actually calms the nervous system. So stress management. When you can't manage the things that are being shot at you, one thing you can do is handle how your body responds to that, and box breathing is an amazing way. So be aware of the stressors in your life and how you can really actively work on stress management. The next thing, environmentally, do some daily walks, stretching, move your body. There's a massive surge of antioxidants during a recovery phase of just moving your body. So that's another thing is when you think about the world you exist in, get outside, move your body, do stretching, use movement to reverse this natural breakdown of your immune system that happens. The next thing environmentally that we can really work on is sleep, right? Sleep is one of those crucial factors. Melatonin, when it gets released at nighttime, our cortisol drops, it triggers melatonin to rise, and that boosts your natural killer cells. Now, what a cool line of cells is that in our body? They're actually called natural killer cells. So melatonin helps us boost that. Sleep and routine, good sleep is the number one way to boost your immune system. And keep in mind all those really cool molecules I talked to you about that are only produced during sleep. Let's talk a little bit about nutrition. Giving the body what it needs so that it can run the way it should. My goal for you is 6 to 9 servings of vegetables a day. And as much as I know it might shock some of you, that's a minimum. You can get those easily in a smoothie, packing that blender full of dark green leafies. You can put a lot in there, put half a cucumber in there, put half an apple in there. I know that's not a vegetable, but you can load up that blender and easily get almost all of your veggies in one serving. But strive to get 6 to 9 servings of vegetables a day. Now, all of those veggies are like the most nourishing, delicious delivery you can give your gut. And inside your gut are those trillions of bacteria who are just waiting for that to come so they can break it down, release those nutrients to be absorbed into your system, and thrive to keep that gut lining healthy so it doesn't produce inflammation. Keep in mind, 70%, that's a 70% of your immune system is in your digestive tract. If you don't keep that healthy, imagine what state your immune system is going to be in. Nutrition is key. 6 to 9 servings of vegetables a day is not the upper limit. That's the minimum. Dark green veggies, brightly colored foods, all of those wonderful things. Eat a rainbow. I want those to resonate in your head. Just hear it over and over. Second thing from a nutrition standpoint, avoid sugar. We know it's inflammatory. We know sugar is not good for us. However, from an immune perspective, sugar will shut down your natural killer cells for up to 4 hours. So if you have a high sugar load, that might be half a soda, it could be a candy bar. Just know that you are completely shutting down your immune system for 4 hours. Keep that in mind when you're choosing what you're putting in your body. Say, am I willing to completely shut down my immune system for 4 hours so that I can indulge in this? Avoid sugar. Hydrate. We need fluids to get to all of our body. We need a carrier to make that happen. Water is absolutely necessary in so many aspects of our body, but even from a perspective of circulation. So at least 80 ounces of water every single day. Probiotics. We need good gut bacteria, right? They create a perfect environment to keep inflammation down in our gut. We know that our gut, again, is 70% of our immune system. So let's keep the good guys around, right? Most of us don't get enough of fermented foods. So a good probiotic on a regular basis if you're not doing enough of fermented foods in your regular diet. And then we get on to supplements. Supplements, they definitely have a place, and there's some amazing ones. Autoimmune is one of my favorites from Orthomolecular. It has just this perfect little balance of vitamin C and D and zinc, as well as NAC and quercetin. Anyways, there's a lot of good choices for supplements. But the key factor is if you're not sleeping and if you have ridiculous stress levels and you're not moving your body at all, you're really hard pressed to say that taking a supplement is going to counteract all of that. It's kind of like the folks who say, I'm going to eat a donut and drink a Diet Coke, and they cross each other out. That is not the case in the world of donuts and Diet Coke. And it's also not the case in your immune system. So foundationally, the things that you wrote down already, focus on those as an added boost. There are some amazing nutrients. So vitamin D activates the right immune cells, and it can shut down immune cells that are overactivating. So it does this regulatory function in our immune system, which is amazing. Where what we know, and we have known for so long, that vitamin D deficiency is associated with many diseases. And keep in mind that the ideal level is between 60 and 90 on a blood test. So if you don't know what your vitamin D is, get it checked. The next supplement for immune function is vitamin A. I would not recommend anybody take more than 5,000 IUs of vitamin A on a daily basis unless you're being monitored closely, because too much vitamin A, like many things, is not good. But vitamin A is a must at therapeutic levels, and many people are deficient. This is very crucial for that immediate immune response. So that quick, fast-acting response. It also is crucial, and it's imperative to have this to grow fresh new cells. So you can see where vitamin A has a big link. Selenium, very common one. 3 Brazil nuts a day. Get your daily selenium intake. And this also is a regulatory function for immune system. Every single cell has a receptor for the process that selenium controls. And then we have vitamin C. Everybody knows vitamin C is good for you. How many of us grew up hearing an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Vitamin C is crucial. It is one of our most powerful antioxidants, along with glutathione. Vitamin C does the role of activating the immune system and then neutralizing the bad substrates that come from those invaders. So vitamin C is so important. Our body typically can't absorb more than 500 milligrams at a dose. So we typically like to recommend 500 milligrams twice a day as a baseline if you're not getting that from your foods. So those are some tips on the, some of the different supplements you could be taking. But what I want you to focus on is exactly what we dealt with early on. We know that your body needs nutrients, and the right ones. It needs sleep, fruits and vegetables. You need to not be in a chronic state of stress, and you need to move your body. So this is just an overview of immunity. I could go on and on and on about immunity, but we're going to cut it off there for today. If you need more in-depth management of your immune system, feel free to reach out, contact our office, and from there we can design a program that is more specific to what you need. We'll also include a link that you can click on that will take you to our website for more information as well. So again, thanks for joining me today. I'm Dr. McCray. If you have any questions, you can shoot them over in the chat. I will see you next Thursday, and we'll pick up on our next topic. Hope you have a great day today.